let's crack on with this. I'm deeply in disguise now. Not just a cap or a hat. Sunglasses. You know, I've got 6 followers and I've had 4 views. Can't be complacent about this stuff. I'm out there. Also, I've opened the window, so it's quite bright. It's early evening, but still it's quite bright, so I thought the sunglasses might help. Might help the visibility. It's funny, isn't it? You put something dark on and you think it's going to improve visibility. It's counterintuitive. Here we go. So we're planting soybeans here. This is a process that shouldn't take very, very long. Not with this 10-metre wide, very gaudily decorated planter. One of which I'm sure I will buy in due course. Sometimes what's a fun thing to do is rather than to buy one really big, like an 18-metre planter, which might cost £200,000, you could buy 2 10-metre planters for £100,000 and have 2 tractors working them simultaneously. You work the ground at a slightly enhanced rate, and that's what it's all about really. It's just getting it done, because this is the sweaty work, isn't it? This is, you know, harvesting, selling, that's all fun. Buying land, driving around, that's all fun. But this is just sweaty stuff. Just going to leap out and have a little look. Oh, stones. We're going to roll those down in a moment. pH perfect, nitrogen's perfect because it's soybeans. And I don't need to tell you that soybeans do not require any additional nitrogen because they have bacteria living in their root nodules, which does everything they need as far as acquiring nitrogen is concerned. Nitrogen is the #1 plant nutrient, I suppose, after carbon dioxide. I don't know whether you'd call it a nutrient. Carbon dioxide, of course, needed for photosynthesis, absorbed from the air. Nitrate needed for making amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. Absorbed from the soil by plants. They can't absorb it out of the air, even though there's, you know, air is 78% nitrogen. They can't use that nitrogen. They need it in the form of soluble compounds called nitrates in the soil. Then they can absorb it through their roots with the water that they absorb, along with things like potassium and phosphorus and calcium and sodium and other important elements. I'm going to put another strip along here because I don't think that is quite enough room to work with. The rule of thumb is 3 strips. I try and get away with 1 or 2. 3 is good. But we're going to get away with 2. We're going to try and get away with 2. It's possible that I won't get away with it. It is a possibility. There we go, right. Now then, let's whip up and go back to upping and downing it. There we go. Looking good. Looking very, very good. Now this is going to be pulling the field roller, which when last we saw it, it was in yellow livery and being a mulcher. But we can whip it to the garage, where we can do a couple of things. one of the things we could do is to make sure that everything's being serviced so it's in the best possible condition. I'm going to refuel the vehicle, even though I'm not low on fuel. I was with my friend here, Robert, who does some jobs around the house and stuff for me, and he said people always complain about refueling because they leave it till they're empty, and then it's a lot of money. Whereas if, I mean, it adds up to the same, but if you do it a little bit at a time, then customise, then it's never a big hit at any given moment. I quite like that logic. I'm a bit inclined to leave it until I'm nearly empty, and then I often get to a panic because I can't find fuel, particularly in France where places aren't open a lot of the time. The random nature of the opening hours here. It's extraordinary. Extraordinary! Somebody who lives in Summertown where essentially everything is open 7 days a week. Used to live in Summertown, don't live in Summertown anymore. It is not true to say I live in Summertown. Boo. Now I live in winter time. Or autumn time, maybe. Right, there we go. It's interesting these stones don't look as well pushed down as they did in the other field. At some point I might have to get a big old stone picker and come thumping through this field because it's annoying me. I don't think they're interacting with stuff. I don't think they're doing excessive damage to the machinery, which is one of the things that stones do. Damage the hardware. It'll be fun here because we've got that little bit of different texture. So rolling on it will change it into the rolled texture, which is more obvious when it doesn't already look like that to start with. So that might be what we get if we were to cultivate or direct drill into the stubble. Would it end up looking like that? Quite an exciting prospect. There we go. This is what we want to have a look at. Paint needs rolling. Lots of it needs rolling. Just a little chunk in the middle that doesn't. I'm going to try and pitch this about right so that I don't roll over a bit that hasn't been rolled yet. Just to make this strip a little bit larger than it currently is. Let's line that wheel up. if I will fit that gap exactamundo. Might do. Might do. Oh, I've left a little piece. That's annoying. That means I can be a little bit more bold with my rolling choices and roll a little bit further out, because that's now done. Oh, lots of faffing about. Faffouage. There we go. There we go. So that's now quite a big, thick, turning strip. So I shall now whiz up to the other end and do something similar. Let's go from about here. Pushing those stones down, although not very effectively pushing those stones down. And bedding the seeds, pressing them firmly into the ground so that their roots can hold them strongly, possibly protecting them from birds and things. I might do one more strip in this direction here as well, but before I do that, I'm going to move that tractor. I'm going to ditch the seeds. Not very many seeds. And then I've got to say a sad farewell to it. 0.2 hours. It's quite expensive really, one way or another. But I still have 145,000 in the bank, so you know, it's not catastrophic. So this breeze coming through there. Oh, that's good. Okay, so that's made a nice big strip to work with. Finish about there. And I shall switch around and then engage autopilot and not think about this again until it is finished. Good. So that's that field done. It's just a question, March, April, May, June, July, whether it is ripe in July when the price of soybeans is at its absolute highest. Do I mean zenith? Perhaps I mean zenith. There's a few little things I was thinking about doing, some less important than others. One was, I was thinking about these bales here. I think these are grass bales. They are bales of grass. They are too heavy to pick up, of course, as indeed are these straw bales. I just wondered what happens if you drag one of these straw bales over this, whether it just sort of sucks them down and consumes them, or whether it doesn't do anything at all. But I think I might sell them, because I've got straw Um, straw is needed for my piggies. Let's go and see how the piggies are. I imagine they are jolly well. Oh, now this is an interesting scenario. This pig has suffered some kind of inconvenience. His little tail is still wiggling. This pig is not in the pig pen. That's what I would say. Oh, has that pig died? No. It's just got its head caught and its leg caught in the doors. Perfectly normal thing to happen. Oh, that's rather a cute one with the splotches. This one seems strangely frozen. Oh, that's nice. They're snuggled up with each other. That's good. Good, good, good. Plenty of good food. Plenty of good pig-related happiness. Front end of this pig is quite happy, even though it is halfway through a door. There's nothing I can do, is there, to sort of encourage you? Oh, yep, that's it. Got that one to go through. Can I do anything to get you to get a move on? No. No, no, no. Right, let's have a quick look here. £704 still. That's the kind of highest price I've managed to get. Got to write that down. Because soon, I mean, if it gets any higher, we need to do something about it. Oh, I've paid a wage bill because time is whizzing along. I think this ×5 time movement thing is a good move. I've only ever played this just at home on my own, but it's quite different when you're playing it ostensibly for yourself, but also potentially for other people to watch. Things need to sort of crack on, and maybe 5 isn't enough. Maybe it should be 10, but we'll go with 5 for the moment because I am, as you know, wary of change. Water's okay, slurry's okay, straw is full. That's all splendid. We are very nearly done there, and I reckon that we could be close to doing the soybeans, possibly a month away from doing the soybeans. Which would be very exciting. Quite exciting. I think I'm going to use that funny little harvester again. It was quick. Soybeans don't produce much, so it'll cover a lot of ground between dumping some soybeans on one. I think I'm going to whiz through to the next month without doing anything with the pigs. They're not in any danger of starvation. It's 3:10. Time to go in and read the newspaper. See what's going on in the world. Might do a little save just in case I've messed up badly, which is always a possibility. Let's whiz through to the next day. Look at those lovely little fly agaric mushrooms there. Incredibly dangerous, those little toadstools. And there's more there. They were there earlier, and some stones. Now this is my newly planted. pH is perfect, nitrogen is perfect. And these have not moved on. They're growing. Better whiz round and check these ones. I think this means that my other soybeans will not be ready in time, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world, because soybeans are always good. I tell you what I might do is that I might get my 3 fields in sync. So I might do all the sort of preparatory work but not plant anything until all 3 fields are ready. Because if I'm hiring a combine, it's extra. If I can hire it once and do everything, that's the ideal, isn't it? Right, let's have a little look at the old Piglingtons. They are fine, but if I were to give them some water and to take away 783, oof. When are we? We are April, aren't we? Those pigs are 783. Okay, well that's interesting. We're going to whisk away. We're going to give them some water, and we're going to take away some slurry. And let's do that with this little fella. Let's first of all take them some water. I sort of feel like I don't need a little electric tractor now that I've got the big Fendt. There's lots of these little mundane jobs can be done by this, but it's nice to have an electric tractor. It feels kind of modern. There's a bit of water in this tank, so I will put as much as I can into here, and the rest I will try and get into the animal protein production facility. There we go. Now, it may be that it takes it all, which it does, and the water is now a happy thing, but it also means that that tank is empty, so in theory at least I should be able to collect this slurry. And as long as it's less than 20,000 litres, I should have no trouble collecting it all. How much was it? Oh, it's 30,000. Oh, that's very good. Right, I should go and dump this in my underground storage facility. Feel the old tractor's struggling a bit with this increased weight. There we go. So that 20,000 litres can be stored there, and I'll go and get the remaining 30,000. Gosh, so it's going to be a couple of trips. It's almost a sort of worthwhile amount, enough to put on the fields. Some of them I'm not growing. Soybeans, if I was growing sunflowers or something, then it would be perfect. Down we go. and there is 11,000 left, I believe. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. Lovely. Cleared out that. There we go. Pop that down there. That's all good. We should go and clean this out. I'm going to clean it out by filling it up with water. And it's going to come out of here as a rather unattractive brown mess. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh. Oh, I filled it up with milk by accident, which I didn't want to do. So, well, this is ridiculous. So I've just spent £11,000 on milk. I'm just about to sell it for much more than that. There we go, £27,000, which is not what I wanted to do. Although inadvertently, I suppose I've cleaned the barrel out with some milk. I wanted to fill it with water. Initially, I want to see if any water will go into here. Just come around the other side. Drive into those things. Let's overload water to there, and then there's a little bit more water needed up here. And I might leave the barrel up here. Little bit. Let's go and see what the food situation is like. Put a little bit of protein into the wagon. Theoretically, this wagon is empty. Let's see what 3,800 does for us. Might have to start making some more. These pigs are actually starting to get through it a bit as I keep buying more pigs. It's all looking a little bit healthier, isn't it? I think it might take it all. Good. If we now look at animals, we can see those very nearly full of food, and that those base food, protein, root crops are starting to balance up a little bit. Protein is still low, but that's okay. Water and straw, they're good for 783 is the price of one of those. I think we can just skip through to the next day, can't we? I would have thought so. Oh, what we could do is get this machine running again, because we're just getting a little bit low on protein. So, it needs sugar beet, it's got minerals, it's full of water, the things that it needs are, if I give it 8,000 of barley, I don't think I have any barley in store. I've got no barley, got wheat, got no barley. So if I buy barley, and I buy 8,000 of it, it should, in theory, be able to take it all, because it doesn't have any barley at all, and I think 8,000 is the maximum amount of barley. So let's have 8,000 of barley. Let's have the grain door as our target. Let's sort out this mad arrangement here. Which is something like then I'm going to go around the corner, and I'm going to very carefully, not to bump into this, I'm going to drop barley here. It is presumably reaching all the way in. Okay, that's all good. Now, my theory is that it should take it all. So I reckon 8,000 is how much it takes. I reckon 8,000 is what in there. It's not filling too quickly. It's filling at about the same speed that the trailer is emptying. That's why I've used the grain door rather than opening the whole of the back end. And then I could get 8,000 crushed turnips and leave them there. Let's have a little look. It's got 5,000. It probably 8,000 isn't as much as it can take. Let's take maybe 4,000 more sugar beet, chopped sugar beet. eventually stop, at which point I shall stop. Stop unloading for a while. Seems to be able to take it all. It's saying it's full. That's pretty amazing. So we can activate that. It'll start making. Let's do a little save because I can feel myself dozing off. I don't think I'm going to do very many more minutes because this is hard, particularly when you're on the run from the law. Let's go and pop this away. Sorry. Yeah. Ping bang. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Good, good, good. Let's put this away. Skip through to the next month and see where we are. I have just saved, so I think we'll just crack on. I really should have some ripe soybeans by this stage. This is going to be May. See how expensive those piggies are. 862. $862 for those pigs. They are all healthy, and that's excellent. A little bit of slurry. What's the deal with crops? 2 fields ready to harvest. Will this one be ready? May, June, July. I don't think it's going to be ready to cut in July, is it? I'm just going to do a test. I'm going to save the game, and then I'm going to whiz forward another 2 months, and I'm going to see whether my crop has withered in that time. So I'm going to come back out and go in. So I'm going forward to June. And I'm going to see if the soybeans have withered. They haven't, but that is also not close to being ripe. Just interested. Just going to have another little look. So should now be in July. It's like a little time travelling exercise. Great demand at farmers market. Oh, it hasn't withered. What is the great demand for at farmers market? Soybeans are past their best. Farmers market, great demand. Not for anything that we know anything about. Just out of interest, what's going on with the pigs? Pigs are into £1,000 a go. They're all still healthy. We seem to have more pigs than we started with. Because presumably a whole load have just been born. Let's whiz up here and have a little look. I'm not saving any of this progress. This is just future exploration. Because we're in July and my other crop of soybeans is not ripe. I thought it would be, but I messed up the numbers. What's going on here? 200 out of 320. So I've got a bunch to sell. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit the game without saving. And then we will come back to it next time. Bye-bye.